Hello and welcome to the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series, live tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are here tonight for the Canterbury RV 200 and the final race of the regular season for these drivers, meaning one last chance to make it into the playoffs. And a lot of drivers towards the cut line or below are in the race tonight, and it is going to be very exciting. We'll get you up to speed on where the drivers come into the race tonight in terms of points, and who is locked in and who is not, as we see Alan Dice across the line there. He moves to 7th on the board in the practice session so far. Just about a minute and a half remaining. And of course, we want to give a big shout out to the sponsor tonight. That is Canterbury. And if you're just joining us here, we're going to type the message in chat so you can see their information. For more than 30 years, Canterbury has been building high-quality havens that blend the simple life with the good life, and now they're taking their experience to the next level, offering folks the chance to outfit their RVs where the possibilities are as boundless as the great outdoors. Check them out, CanterburyRV.com. They build some awesome tiny homes, cabins, all kinds of things, and see if there's anything that suits your fancy. If you're looking for a little vacation home or what have you, check them out. Very proud to have them as a sponsor here for tonight's race and a couple races this season. As we are winding down the practice session, Eric Hutton currently the fastest on the board, but he is not out on track. Ryan Gemmel trying to knock off his time. He's only 7 1/1000ths behind, but not quite running those lap times at the moment. Let's close up our ticker here, and you can see where the drivers come in on points and what the storylines are here tonight. As we take a look at the top 20 in the standings, you see Jeff Pogo up there leading the way. He's got 1 win. He's leading the point standings. But AJ Stravada with his 5 wins has closed in to just 3 points behind. Also Seth Hatchell, who does not have a win. He is also just a few points behind, as well as Josiah Vincent. So the battle for the regular season championship is on here tonight, and it's going to be very interesting to see who comes away with it. That will offer some bonus points headed into the playoffs as well. And you can see the top 9 all locked in based off of points or wins. So none of them really have to worry about anything here tonight is in terms of advancing to the playoffs, just in terms of where they're going to finish the regular season in the standings. But everybody from 10th on back are the ones fighting to make it in tonight. Alan Dice, we just took a look at him on the racetrack. He's in 10th position, just 17 points up over the cut line. And you can see at that cut line a 3-way tie between Zach Smith, Lane Sulfridge, and Jordan Brockle. But between 14th and 18th, it's only 2 points. Between 10th and 21st, we'll bring up drivers outside the top 20. It is only 26 points. So any of those drivers can point their way in. I believe the field is going to be large enough here tonight for that to be possible. And then anybody from 27th on up should be able to do that. We'll have to get clarification. It does depend on field size somewhat. And then all those drivers on the outside are looking for a victory. That is the only way to advance into the playoffs for any of those drivers in blue. So going to be interesting. We'll see what happens here tonight, and want to welcome everyone on board for the ride. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see how these things go, see who makes it in to the playoffs, which start just next week. And taking a look now, Eric Hutton on the racetrack. He's trying to put a fast lap down. It was fastest in the practice session. Right now showing fastest in qualifying as well, with 8 minutes remaining. And I want to welcome Jay Park, Mad Cat Felix, Blazer Pete, And everyone else who's tuned in tonight, thank you for joining us on V-Speed. My name is Adam Baker. I'll be your commentator here tonight, along for the ride here in the regular season finale. And who are you cheering for tonight? We always ask that right around the start of a race. We'll ask it ahead of time. I know we've got some cheering on Lambert and looks like Brandon Vasquez. And thank you, sir. Really appreciate that. Let's see where some of these drivers are putting in their lap times as Eric Holly comes across the line. He is 5th right now. That is a good lap time. Brandon Vasquez, we just talked about him there. They call him Batman. He drives the Wayne Enterprises Batman machine. 17th fastest, 18th now. He gets knocked down one spot. Actually just moves up to 11th with that lap time, and he loses control on the slow down lap. But driver I'll be looking at here tonight, Josiah Vincent, did not get quite as good a lap time as I expected. He comes in tied for 3rd in the points. And he goes 9th fastest so far. Let's see if Ryan Gemmel looks like he is now on the speedway. He was fast in practice. Seth Hatchell not putting in a great lap time. He's currently scored 24th. Might have hit the wall. Gemmel on his first time around goes 25th fastest with a 29.24. And Gemmel, of course, the winner at Michigan a few weeks back. One of only 5 winners we've had this season. Slow-mo cheering on the Loaded Dice guys. That is Dallas Sullivan, Alan Dice, TJ, Tim Cody, and Safe. As Gemmel across the line, he will go 10th fastest, so not quite quick enough to get the pole. Let's take a look at the track information, or rather the track conditions. 79 degree air temp, 81 degree track temp, so should be plenty of grip, and it will only get cooler as the sunshine fades. And we are here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, a 1.5 mile racetrack in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be 135 laps tonight, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes, 135 laps. That is good for 200 miles. And we will see how these drivers make out. If drivers could save the tires, not that the track is too abrasive, but definitely still going to need to preserve your equipment. It's Timothy Emanuele in a very unique paint scheme. Wraps up his lap. He's 27th right there in front of Seth Hatchell. So Hatchell going to have some work to do here if he wants to win the regular season championship. But it looks like drivers wrapped up for qualifying, and that means we are going to head to commercial. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with your starting grid.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
We want to thank Canterbury RV for sponsoring tonight's event. You can check them out at the link in chat. It is CanterburyRV.com. They build tiny homes, cabins, adventure homes, all kinds of stuff. And they can outfit your RV or trailer to your liking so you can get out there and better explore the great outdoors. So check them out, the sponsor for tonight's event. Let's head back to the racetrack now. Drivers getting in their cars and setting up on the front straightaway as we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. Rolling off from the pole, it's going to be Eric Hutton in the number 77 machine. He pulls off a great lap of 28.938 to take that top spot. Right alongside him, Jeremiah Vincent, the number 9 car. He is very close in terms of fighting for the championship. Both of these drivers are, as they come in just a few points outside of it. Actually, Hutton a bit farther outside of the championship battle, but Jeremiah Vincent, or just, yes, actually it's Josiah Vincent, rather, that is in the fight for the championship. So I'm getting the Vincents confused here as we go through the grid. Alan Dice going to be rolling off in the 3rd position. Very close lap time there. Good lap as he's someone fighting to stay inside the top 16. Nick Starling with the win last week, locked in, and he'll roll off 4th. Cody Adkins going to be starting in 5th position here tonight. Eric Holly starting in the 6th position. Safe Ferris rolling off in 7th. He comes in locked in on points. Alongside him, Dylan Teal. Josiah Vincent rolling off in 9th, and Ryan Gemmel rolling off in the 10th position. Thomas Brendel rolling off 11th. Michael Newman starting in 12th. 13th is Eric Lambert. 14th will be Brandon Vasquez, the number 19. 15th will be Lyle Sulfridge. 16th will be Justin Carey. 17th is Dallas Sullivan. 18th, Dennis Steele. 19th, Jason Perkins. Rounding out the top 20, it's Brett Sommers in the number 7 machine. In 21st, we've got Dan Dill. 22nd, your points leader, Jeff Pogo, starting towards the rear. Lane Sulfridge starting 23rd. Jordan Shepler starting 24th. Jordan Brockle, who finds himself on the outside of the cut line, he's rolling off 25th. Joey Mines starting 26th. Timothy Emanuele going to be starting in 27th. He is close to the cut line as well. Seth Hatchell comes in fighting for the championship lead. He'll roll off 28th. 29th is Chris Wheeler. Zach Smith rolling off in 30th. And rounding out the field, it's Kyle Payne, the number 68 car, in 31st position. So 31 car field and a lot on the line for a lot of drivers. Who's going to come out on top? Will they all make it to the end? Who's going to make it into the playoffs? Pace car rolls off onto pit lane. Waiting on the 77 of Eric Hutton. It's green flag in the air. We're underway from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the regular season finale of the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. The 77 to the inside. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent looking to the outside in turns 1 and 2 right off the start, but Hutton going to be able to get that car out in front, and they'll go single file. The top two now, Alan Dice able to clear into third. They battle side by side for the 4th position. That is Cody Adkins and Nick Starling, 31 and 32. But the top three all single file, and we'll see a bit of this tonight, this side by side battling. It's going to be hard to make some passes when the tires are fresh. And as they wear out, it will get more difficult to do so. You'll see these guys out in front probably just going to try and stay single file, work together and pull away from the cars battling. As Hutton shows the way, Jeremiah Vincent in second, Alan Dice trying to get up there and challenge for the top 2 spots. As they make their way, complete lap number 2, lap 3 on the board. We see Eric Hawley side by side with Josiah Vincent. And then Ryan Gemmel back here in 9th. We know Gemmel's got some good speed after the practice session, but can he get up towards the front? Right behind him, Thomas Brendel comes into tonight's race. He is just 1 point outside the cut line. Needs a good run here to have a shot at advancing. And Brandon Vasquez behind him needs a victory to be able to move on, as well as a few others we see throughout the field. Eric Lambert, one of the drivers, he's going to need a victory. Right there in the 12th position at the moment. Justin Carey, he's on the inside by just 9 points though, so keep an eye on some of these guys. Up at the front of the field, Eric Hutton continues to show the way. Now the gap about 2 car lengths back to Jeremiah Vincent, and Nick Starling moves into third. He goes around the 57 of Alan Dice. Looks like maybe slowing up a little bit here. Now 3 wide, Safe Ferris down to the middle. There's Eric Hawley up high. The 25 brushes the wall. And Gemmel trying to take advantage of the 25 making that mistake, but not going to happen. Here comes Brandon Vasquez looking to the inside, but Gemmel not going to make it work in turn number 1. He'll back out of it. Thomas Brendel on the back bumper now under attack from Eric Lambert and others working that low line. A lot on the line. 9 races worth of performance and points headed into tonight's race. Could they have found more throughout the earlier parts of the season? It is possible. Small mistakes do add up over time, and some of these guys very close to not advancing. As we mentioned, just 26 points separating 10th place back to 21st. And more than enough points on the line here tonight with 31 cars, so it'll be a lot of fun. 135 laps though. We're only on lap number 8. Still a long ways to go. It's side by side back there for the 5th position. It's Josiah Vincent and Alan Dice able to complete that pass. He'll slide up in front of the 4. Safe Ferris all over the back bumper of the 4 machine, not cutting him any slack. We've seen that 44 so aggressive this season. It's worked for him at times, and it's also hurt him at times, as there you see the 4 of Josiah Vincent sliding up the racetrack. The 44 gets a great run out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. He'll go to the inside of Vincent, probably complete that pass. There he goes. Gemmel gonna try and follow him through. Gemmel moving up a little bit now. He's in 7th, trying to take 6th position away. And Safe is up to the top 5, so a couple names that we're used to seeing up towards the front rising to the occasion here, looking for another victory. But at the front, Jeremiah Vincent has taken the top spot away. Hutton making potentially a mistake, or I'm not sure if this is a planned switch to give the 9 some bonus points for leading a lap. But he is in the lead now. Let's see if we can go back and find out what happened. So he was all over the back bumper. Looking down the back straightaway, he did not dive in there. Yes, he did. He dove into the inside. Hutton gave him some slack. And the 9 car drives off to the lead as he is right now. So that was your replay of what happened. Jeremiah Vincent driving out front. He needs the points. He comes in here in the 21st or 20th position, just 6 points outside the cut line, but gaining a bonus point in leading some laps here. Definitely going to be helpful. Oh, as Nick Starling throws a big block on Safe Ferris. He gets the bumper from the 44. Here comes Gemmel. Going to be right on the back of the 44 machine. Looks like Nick maybe having some connection problems as he brushed the wall there. Gemmel to the inside. He'll move to 5th. Starling back to 6th. Nose 4, nose to tail from 3rd to the 6th position. The top 2 have broken away by about a second now. Alan Dice in the 7th position, doing a good job in these early laps. Already a 10th of the way through this event. And Alan, he's got a comfortable gap to the cut line. He just needs to finish about 15th or better here tonight to guarantee no one can pass him. And he is doing that right now up in the 7th position as we see battles going on in the top 5. Cody Atkins going to get passed up by Safe Ferris now. The 44 charging forward and bringing the 16 with him every which way. The 31 fighting hard back on the outside. No drafting help there as those 2 nose to tail is going to be a bit quicker down the straightaways. Oh, Gemmel looks to the inside now. This is for 3rd position. You know the 16 with speed from practice, but Safe Ferris no slouch. He was quick in practice as well. As they fight for that 3rd position. Here comes Adkins now peeking back down low. But not going to happen for the moment. They continue to fight side by side. Also back here, Brandon Vasquez and Justin Carey, the 8th and 9th positions. That battle ends just as soon as we get to it. Josiah Vincent back here in the 13th position. Had to go in the wrong direction. After starting in 9th, he's lost 4 spots, but now looking to gain one of those back. He goes to the inside of Eric Holly. He'll take that spot away in turns 3 and 4. And Lyle Sulfridge also closing into that battle. 25 with a bit of rear end damage, not helping the aerodynamics of that race car. One driver I'm a little bit concerned about, Seth Hatchell. He's been back here, started 28th. He is moving forward, but does have a bit of rear end damage as well. That is the danger of running so far back. You get pretty chaotic towards the rear of the field, but Hatchell just 4 points outside of the top spot in the point standings. So he needs a good run here to be able to get up there and possibly win the regular season championship. Right now, not having the run that he needs. Another driver we know changed up the paint scheme tonight. Looks like an inverse of his usual scheme. That is Brett Sommers, currently back 4 spots from where he started. He needs a victory to advance tonight. Got 33 points out coming into the race. So Brett looking for a good run. He's going to have to pick it up here just a little bit, but only 20 laps in. Anything can happen, and you might see that 7 car in position to advance. Zach Smith right on the cut line as well. He's tied, but at the moment running back here in 22nd position. Zach needs to pick up the pace as well. His contenders, Lane Saltbridge actually behind him, so that is a benefit. But Dan Dill, many positions ahead. Jeremiah Vincent also up there. He's actually leading the race. Don't forget that. The 9 car out in front. So many storylines here tonight. I'm going to definitely have trouble keeping up with who is in and who is out. In terms of at least around the cut line. I know the 9 locked in. Got one of them up here battling for the lead. That is Eric Hutton. And Ryan Gemmel has taken 3rd position away from Safe Ferris, but is unable to break away. Just 1 car length separating those two. Cody Adkins, good run so far. We've seen Cody pick up the pace here this season, the number 31 car. But Cody comes in 32nd in points. He's missed 3 races, so that is a big contributor to why he's back there. But running up here in the top 5 early on could be a good sign. Maybe a win is in the cards for that number 31 car. And how much would that upset the cutoff line if the 31 went to victory lane? Starling back here behind him. He's looking for 2 in a row. As Safe Ferris almost bumps the wall there. He does tag the wall. Right behind Ryan Gemmel. I think where that safer barrier kind of bumps out just a tiny bit. He caught it with the right front, and he has some heavy damage. Here comes Cody Adkins looking to the inside. 44. Gonna race him hard down into turn number 1. 31 not able to get quite alongside. Now he will in turn number 2. With a 44 carrying some good momentum, he'll be able to hang on to the spot. 31 tucks in line. As 3rd, 4th, 5th now a little bit more spaced out, but top 2 still nose to tail. About 2.5 seconds up the road. All by themselves. Jeremiah Vincent showing some great speed in the opening laps here. He's led the majority. With your pole sitter right there behind him. It's so hard to pass as these tires wear out, and Hutton probably feeling the effects of the aero push when he's riding behind the 9 car like this, so potentially wearing the tires a bit more. See him ride into the corner a bit higher, get a little bit of air on the nose, and then he cuts a little lower in the center of the corner. But losing about a half car length right there. Through turns 1 and 2. We ride on board with Eric Hutton. Eric has shown some good speed this season, unable to capture a win, but he is up there in the top 6 or so in points, and really has been a contender in many races. I think of New Hampshire, Iowa, Bristol. He led a lot of laps in those races. Iowa really was the car to beat, but unable to come away with the victory. So see if he can capture it here tonight. He's locked in on points, so really nothing to race for other than the win. He can't quite win the regular season championship, I don't believe, so. We'll see how that goes. Cody Adkins moves up to 4th. He did complete the pass on Safe Ferris as Safe moves back to 5th. Alan Dice up to 6th. He got around Nick Starling, so Starling starting to go the wrong way. And your points leader, Jeff Pogo, moving towards the front. One thing to note, AJ Stravato is not in the race tonight, so he will not win the regular season championship. But with 5 victories in the first 9 races, he is definitely going to be a car to beat, and he'll probably be the top seed with all those playoff points headed into the playoffs next week. Dan Dill up here in 9th. He continues to have a good run. Justin Carey right there behind him. Dan comes in 4 points outside the cut line, and Justin comes in 9 points on the inside. So we'll be looking at these two in relation to the other guys around the cut line. Dan up here, he probably would be in based on this run, but no guarantees just yet. We'll have to have some numbers tabulated at the end of the race, and hopefully we can get those done quickly enough to give you the top 16 going into the playoffs before we end the broadcast. If not, you'll be able to catch that on our Twitter up there on the screen for you. We'll probably do an announcement for the top 16 advancing on the Twitter and Facebook pages, so go follow us over there. Also, if you're enjoying the broadcast, hit that follow button or consider subscribing. We would really appreciate your support. Subscriptions go a long way to helping us continue to bring you great racing content each and every week. You can check us out on these social media platforms. We're going to be doing a giveaway when we get to 500 followers here on Twitch, as well as 200 on Twitter. We're not too far on Twitter. We've got a little ways to go on this platform, however. So if you want to be eligible, please follow us on Twitter. Follow us right here on Twitch as well, and you will be eligible when we hit those marks. Probably going to be a couple months before that, but would appreciate your support, and tell your friends, come out and watch some great racing action. As out front, Jeremiah Vincent continues to show the way. We are right around the quarter way mark. That number 9 car looking very strong. He's holding off Eric Hutton, but is the 77 just saving his stuff and waiting in the wings to make a move on that number 9. He was the pole sitter. And these two have absolutely driven away. Ryan Gemmel back in 3rd. He's starting to get chased down by Cody Atkins. That 31 car, he's showing some strength here tonight. Ooh, as I think we might have had a car get into the wall. No caution. I did hear a car hit the wall, though. Not sure. It doesn't look like any of these guys all that close. Ooh, there's a car in the wall. That is... trying to see who that one is. I think that's Kyle Payne. Yeah, he's a lap down. He's got some right front damage. He caught the wall. And look at Seth Hatchell up in the top 10. Holy cow. Oh, we've got a car down on the apron. I couldn't see who that was. Cars going all over the place towards the top 15, but Hatchell, you know, he started all the way back in 28th position. He has gained 18 spots, no doubt our biggest mover. And he's been saving his tires, putting down lap times that look pretty good. Very comparable with other drivers in the top 10. A little bit off of the leaders at the moment, but he is back here in the dirty air. But watch out for that 8 car. He's closing in. And laps, you know, still early in the race here, just 37 laps in. Take a look at Zach Smith. Oh, and Kyle Payne really struggling in that race car. A lap down, but he is well off the pace, about a second and a half slower than your leaders, and he keeps rubbing the wall each time around. We did have a few cars on the pit road. Chris Wheeler just pitted 1 lap ago, 16.9 second stop as he puts fresh Goodyear Eagles on that race car. Brandon Vasquez came in 6 laps ago. He is currently 2 laps down. And then Jordan Brockle pitted 7 laps ago. And he is 5 laps off the pace, heavy left side damage in the 84 car. as well as some right front damage. He works his way around some of these other guys on old tires, but Jordan in a bad spot. He needed the run to have a chance to advance tonight, and tied at the cut line right now. He's going to be on the outside for sure, back in 30th position. He is struggling with that race car a little bit. You can see it kind of wiggling around for him. Rockel in trouble early. See if he's going to be able to recover, but 5 laps down, I think it's going to be a little bit too much to do that. But that is good news for Lane Sulfridge and Zach Smith. That being said, Zach Smith, actually Zach is up to 15th, so he has started to come on here later in this run. The car's still clean, so he has not made contact. Let's take a look back at Seth Hatchell. He's putting pressure now on Dan Dill, the 81 in the 9th position. Hatchell in the 10th position, looking for more. He gets a good run out of turn 4, going to look to the outside. 81 not going to be able to have the run. Here comes Hatchell side by side into turn 1. Hatchell going to be able to keep the power down up high. So 81 having the lift just a little bit down low. He gets a little squirrely, and that's going to allow Hatchell to drive right on past, headed down into turn 3. The 81 powering back low. Can he make it work? Doesn't appear so, as here comes Chris Wheeler with the fresh tires closing in on that battle. But again, he is multiple laps off the pace. Trying to get one of those back, and it's about 10 seconds back of your leader. He goes to the outside, very close call. But I am very impressed with Cody Adkins. He started up here in the top 5. He's in 3rd position. And Cody, who can only advance with a win, he is putting himself in position to potentially do so. Running some of the fastest laps other than your leaders. Also Hatchell and Pogo running faster than the leaders that time by. So Jeff Pogo in 7th. Seth Hatchell back there in the 9th spot, but closing in on Nick Starling, who is faded significantly. Running about a half second slower than Hatchell at the moment. So a lot of things going on. I'm very impressed by these guys, though, keeping it green this entire way. 44 laps in, that's a third of the way. Safe Fair is up here in 4th. He's gotten back around Ryan Gemmel, and Gemmel has caught the wall in that 16 car. So both of these drivers going the wrong direction, a little bit off the pace right now. They're going to have to try and get that repaired as the race progresses. Here comes Wheeler to the outside. He slams the wall next to Gemmel. He'll go into the infield, trying to hang on to it, losing control. Heads down into the pit lane, able to right the ship, but let's take a look at how that happened. He came right up alongside Ryan Gemmel. I don't think Ryan knew he was there. I mean, you wouldn't expect it 10 car lengths back, but that is the difference fresh tires make. Here he comes to the outside. Gemmel starts coming up the track, but plenty of room there. He just caught the wall. Went through the road course section and across the infield, able to keep it out of the pit road barrier. Good save by the 22. But he is going to have some right side damage and already multiple laps down. Got pit stop starting. Jason Perkins, Thomas Brendel on the pit road. Looks like Chris Wheeler bringing it back down here. Cody Adkins on the pit lane, as well as Alan Dice. So a couple of those guys who are up there in the top 5. As Adkins rolls off, he's going to be 1 lap down. And there goes Alan Dice as well. Here comes Michael Newman on the pit lane, as well as Nick Starling. Ryan Gemmel bringing it in, gets it in his box there. Jason Perkins with an extended stop. He might have had speeding Right now at 35 seconds, that is going to be a killer. He will go multiple laps down. 40 seconds as it continues to tick up. And right now your leader, Jeremiah Vincent. When do these guys elect to pit? Now 48 laps into the race. And they're putting down lap times about 2.2 seconds slower than the quick times of the race. So they are going to be losing quite a bit to these cars on fresh rubber as Hatchell pulls out of the pit lane at 14.9 second stop. He'll get passed up by his teammate Ryan Gemmel. Gemmel with the damage, but last time by ran a 29, or actually that was his best lap. So we'll see what he runs this time around. See how much time he gains on those top two. As on the pit lane, Dan Dill now leaving his box at 14.2 second stop. Good job there. And looks like Lane Sulfrid going to be bringing it in. He's got some right rear damage. Pretty heavy right rear damage, actually. Not really what you want to see from the 71 there. He's got a little bit of work to do. Zach Smith on the pit lane. Here's Jeff Pogo. Dallas Sullivan in his box. Safe Ferris in his box. Eric Holly on the pit lane now. He pulls into his box. He's got heavy right side damage in that 25 car. Here's Eric Hutton. Jeremiah Vincent. The top two have finally brought it down the pit lane. And it looks like 77 might have overshot it. Nope, he's all good. And that hands the lead over to Justin Carey. And Justin needing some bonus points. This is going to be very welcome for the 21 as he gets passed up by Ryan Gemmel. That'll put Gemmel back on the lead lap. And that leaves 7 drivers left on the track yet to pit. Many of them looking for some points to potentially lead some laps here. Right now it's Justin Carey, Josiah Vincent, Jordan Shepard, or Shepler, rather. He's in third position of about 5.5 seconds back. Timothy Emanuele, Lyle Sulfridge, and Brett Sommers. Many of these drivers looking for a win tonight as Sommers coming onto the apron. He's trying to get that thing slowed up to bring it into pit lane. And here comes Josiah Vincent and Justin Carey. They pull off the racetrack and will surrender the lead and those positions. Jordan Shepler takes over the top spot now. Timothy Emanuele about 1.6 seconds back. So Shepler looking for those bonus points. He comes in well outside of the cut line, requiring a victory here tonight. He's 30th in points, 58 outside the cut line. That is too much to manage to point your way in. So he's trying to pull a little alternate strategy here, and 54 laps in. Remains on the racetrack along with 2 others. But Ryan Gemmel, your net leader, he takes over the top spot from Jeremiah Vincent and Eric Hutton. But it is only a matter of time, I think, until they get there. They are running about 0.3 faster every lap. Eric Lambert up in the mix here. He goes 1 lap down after pitting just 1 lap ago. Shepler brings it onto the pit lane, so 13 surrenders the lead. Timothy Emanuele with an issue, maybe out of fuel. Oh, he tried to get to pit lane. He missed it. He missed it. He is out of fuel. Emanuele limping that car around. This is going to cost him tons of time, and he will fall well off the lead lap. Lyle Sulfridge also out. He's trying to wiggle that car. As at the front now, Ryan Gemmel, he's going to get passed up. Jeremiah Vincent back to the top spot, so Gemmel does not lead a lap. Jeremiah Vincent right back where he was, and now he's got a car holding up the 77 behind him, but Hutton looks to the inside. This should be pretty easy for him. 4 or 5 lap pressure tires. He'll drive right on past, and Gemmel with the damage. Gonna start falling like a rock here, and this race has the makings. A green flag start to finish. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's looking a lot like the race a couple weeks ago. As the 19 of Vasquez gets wiggly right there around second place. Vasquez 3 laps off pace. He is going to need a miracle at this point. That car heavily damaged, and he is out of contention for sure. 28th position. But battling with the 16 at the moment. And how about Seth Hatchell? A clean pit sequence. He's running as fast as the leaders and up to 4th position after a short pit. He pitted on the same lap as his teammate Ryan Gemmel, and the gap only 1.3 seconds between them. As Scheffler goes on by on the inside, he's got fresh tires. He's a lap down, trying to get some of that back. Safe Ferris with a big issue on the pit lane, though. He was there for 54 seconds. He goes a lap down through the pit cycle. And he's going to be hoping for something to happen here so he can get back up in the mix. He's running up in the top 6 or 7 before everything started, and we are left with just 16 drivers. On the lead lap, the last of them, Lane Sulfridge in 16th. He rides behind Josiah Vincent, both of those drivers. Only about 10 seconds in front of your leader, so in danger of potentially going a lap down at some point. And Thomas Brendel, he started off hot. Started 11th. He was up inside the top 10 for a good portion of this race. Finds himself now last car on the lead lap as he gets passed up by those 2 other race cars. Just about 7 laps to the halfway point. So the driver's going to have to start making some moves here if they want to make it to the finish line first. And right now it is all Jeremiah Vincent. He has led 48 laps. Right behind him, the pole sitter Eric Hutton. He has only led 8 laps. But he has been right on his tail the whole race. Brandon Vasquez closing back into this lead battle. He is going to go try and get one of his laps back and at least stand a fighting chance if anything does happen. Right now, Chester Cheetah on that number 14. Not going the right way. He is a little bit off pace. He's got right rear damage. He's got some of the oldest tires on the racetrack. So he's going to be hoping for a caution here soon, I'm sure. He's only about 8 seconds in front of the leader and running about 6/10 to a second a lap slower. Back here in the 16th spot. Seth Hatchell takes over 3rd from his teammate Ryan Gemmel. So Hatchell up from 28th, now 4 seconds behind the leader. And a little bit of a slow lap that time by, but we'll see if he saved his stuff at all and has anything to get up and challenge those top 2 who have been so dominant the opening laps here. We're going to go side by side for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Green Flag Racing.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also, check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sin. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
Back to the racetrack now. I want to give another shout out to the sponsor of tonight's race, Canterbury RV. Check them out at the link in the chat. We just put it in there. CanterburyRV.com. See if they have anything to help you enjoy the great outdoors that much more. Check them out, CanterburyRV.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring tonight's race, and hopefully everyone enjoying so far. 69 laps in the books, or 69 on the board right now, rather. As Ryan Gemmel has lost a couple spots in the last 5 or 10 laps. He lost it to his teammate Seth Hatchell. Jeff Pogo went on past as well. Cody Adkins lost a lot of ground in the pit cycle as well. He had a good sequence. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but he has not run very good laps here after the cycle. So Cody, who went into the pit sequence third, he's currently sixth. So maybe just not a very good in and out lap. But in the front, it is Jeremiah Vincent and Eric Hutton continuing to show the way. Jeremiah's led all but about 13 laps in this race, but he's got big pressure now. The 77 all over the back bumper. We are past the halfway point. It's looking like the Jeremiah Vincent and Eric Hutton show. But cheer on your favorite driver. Who do you think is going to win tonight's race? It's been green flag racing all race long so far. 0 cautions, but 5 lead changes, mostly through that pit cycle. Just one happening between Jeremiah Vincent and Eric Hutton earlier in the race. That's the only one that's really happened outside of pit lane. And I am not going to pick anybody to win this race. Right now it's these top 2 looking like the favorites, but I'm not going to call anybody out. I don't want to curse anybody with the commentator's curse. Let's take a look at the track conditions as the race has gone on. It's actually gotten hotter on the track surface, 83 degrees. The sun's starting to set. Will start to play a factor in the air temp, so we'll see what happens there. But right now, on the nose of Eric Hutton, he is all over the back bumper of Jeremiah Vincent. The 77 looking a little bit stronger here on run number 2. A lot on the line for Jeremiah Vincent. I think he's essentially captured most laps led at this point, but I think Eric could still grab it if he gets the lead here in just a couple laps. But Jeremiah up here, he has led 61 out of 74. Eric Hutton leading 8, but he would need 53 more, and there's still enough left. But if Jeremiah leads just a handful more, he will take that crown away. And that's another bonus point, so important for that driver who comes in on the outside looking in, 6 points out, and he is putting on that performance of the season so far. However, we did see a great race from him at, I believe it was Texas. He ran up front all race long, only to lose it late to AJ Stravato, but lucky for him, the 48 not in the race tonight, but the 77 is. He is showing 48-like performance. He looks to the outside, not going to make it happen. The 9 car continues to show the way. Behind them, a couple lap machines. That is Thomas Brendel just going a lap down, and also the 19 of Vasquez, 3 laps off the pace. Jordan Scheffler, he's not too far up the road, just about a second and a half in front of these guys. Right in front of him, Lane Sulfridge. So we only have 16 on the lead lap, and that number could be shrinking here shortly. Unless we get a yellow flag. It has been green flag racing all of the event. Hobby Farmer 8 cheering on Seth Hatchell, who's made an incredible drive up to 3rd place, but he's got a long ways to go. He has not been able to gain on the top 2, now 5.5 seconds back. So he's lost about a second and a half here over the last 10 or 15 laps, and it's been tough to keep up with those two. They're working so well together and obviously have the cars hooked up. Hatchell, a close 3rd though in terms of lap times, just about 300ths off of their times. And he's even on 4-lap older tires, so that is pretty impressive. He's been able to save his stuff. See if he can start closing in as these runs go on. The leader's starting to catch up to some lap traffic. Will hurt the lap times. That time by Hatchell was faster. And Jeff Kogo not too far behind Seth. He is also closing in. You see that 9 car glued to the blue line at the bottom of the track. A little bit more grip in that paint, which is kind of crazy to say, but especially as the track temps being so cool right now, there's definitely some grip down there. That car will hook around that white and blue line, and he's getting a great exit out of turn number 2 right now. The 77 loses about a car length that time by. And Hatchell, once again, a bit quicker that time, just about a 10th faster. So if he keeps that up, he could start closing the gap. Then maybe through the pit cycle can figure out a way to get up here and at least challenge with these guys. But saw short pitting did not work for Ryan Gemmel. He's back here in 6th. He gets passed up by Cody Adkins. And Ryan currently about 10.5 seconds off the lead. So really a net loss, I think, by pitting early. He's got Dan Dill just about a second behind him, so he's going to have to fight him off as well. Take a look at Alan Dice doing exactly what he needs to do. He's up here in 8th position. Justin Carey not far behind him in the 9th position, also doing what he needs to do. And Dallas Sullivan. Dallas comes in here just 9 points on the outside, looking in. And he's running 10th right now. It might be enough to get up there inside the top 16. He has to worry about that 9 car winning the race. And the 9 car has to be worried about the 77 winning the race. He's all over the back bumper. Final pit stops might be starting for a few drivers. Actually, it looks like Jordan Brockel is going to bring it down on the pit lane for his 2nd stop of the night. He's got heavy damage, and Jordan not having the night he needs. He's most likely going to be eliminated unless something crazy happens here. And he is definitely running out of time in that 84 car. But what a season for Jordan so far. Had a couple standout performances, a couple top 10s. And we saw a couple races where he persevered after getting damage early and was able to grab some solid finishes in that race car. And he has been able to stay within striking distance of the top 16. And unfortunately, I think that's going to come to an end tonight. But definitely a good run this season for the 84. As Vincent continues to show the way. Let's see if there's any other battles on track. Looks like Dan Dill is closing in. That's the gap right there between himself and Ryan Gemmel. Just 4/10 from 6th to 7th place. And that gap closes up by another 10th right there. Dan Dill doing a great job. That 81 car, he comes in 4 points outside the cut line. This might be the run to put him up inside the top 16. Once again, he's got to worry about the 9 car winning this race, as he was only 2 points in front of Jeremiah, so he would fall behind him at the moment, but he might be up there in front of Zach Smith and Lane Sulford. Zach is 11th, so actually, I don't know. He's definitely going to pass up. Thomas Brendel at the moment, as well as Jordan Brockle. So with the 84 having issues in this race, it really does open up the door for some of these guys like Dan Dill, who looks like he's going to try and grab another point right here from Ryan Gemmel. So Gemmel going to drop to 7th. Dan Dill moves up to the 6th position. We've also got a battle a bit farther back. Justin Carey, only 4/10 behind Dallas Sullivan. That's 9th and 10th. Dallas moving forward. He actually passed Justin the last time by. There's Eric Lambert rolling off the pit lane. He's got some damage on the right side, and Eric 2 laps down. Nick Starling also making a pit stop just a lap ago. And Michael Newman just came off the pit road as well. So some of these drivers putting on fresh tires right around the lap 88 mark. And I think they should be able to go to the end from here. It's going to be about 47 laps. It'll be a long run, but Joey Mines, he's been out there for 45. We've seen other drivers out there for about 52. Your leaders have been out there 38 laps at the moment. As they are navigating some heavy lap traffic, there is Nick Starlin looking for a way around. He got stuck behind the 77, and he's going to have trouble navigating this, I think. Looks like he'll go to the outside here, and fresh tires, such a big advantage. But he is stuck behind these guys, and this is going to hurt him overall. The lap cars just kind of coming up at the wrong time. The 77 just barely clears the 28. That was a close moment. And there goes Nick right around the outside. He'll try and get a lap back from Jeremiah Vincent. That'll put him just 1 lap down. Currently riding in the 21st position. And Eric Lambert, he's a ways behind these guys. He's looking to get back up there and try and get a lap back. And Joey Mines brings it to the pit road. He is one of the first drivers. Right now, only 13 on the lead lap. Jordan Shepler, the last one. But he has done a good job of staying up here on the lead lap. I think that time running short, though. Here comes the 9 behind him. As we've got some smoke on the front straightaway. It looks like it's all clear. The 9 car going to go to the inside. That'll put the 13 of Shepler a lap down, leaving just 12 on the lead lap. Josiah Vincent, who was only a few points outside the top spot in the standings. He's the last car on the lead lap. Not had the run here tonight that I think we'd expect, but he does have some significant right rear damage and some right front damage. But Josiah came into tonight's race. Yeah, just 4 points outside the points lead, so he is probably at this rate not going to capture the regular season championship, but driver who's putting up a good challenge for it, Seth Hatchell, up here in 3rd. He's leading your points leader right now. Pogo back here in fourth. It's not going to be quite enough. Hatchell's going to need about 2-3 more spots to have a chance at it. And here comes Pogo to the pit lane. He'll pull a little short pit strategy and see if he can make some time up on the leaders. About 7.6 seconds behind when he came into the pit lane. Seth Hatchell has closed up, though. He's up to 4.2 seconds behind, as caution is out on the racetrack. I think it could have been the 21. Was it Justin Carey? No. The 68 maybe? Kyle Payne, big damage on that race car. This is going to throw a wrench in a lot of people's plans. Let's go take a look what happened to Kyle. All right, now we found it here. Kyle Payne, he's been struggling. He was about 6 laps off the pace. Right there behind Gemmel. Gemmel comes to pit road. He makes an evasive maneuver, and he locks it up down through the grass, but I think he came to a full stop here. I'm not sure anybody else got involved, but that brought out the yellow flag. Kyle Payne spinning it out on the front straightaway. A few drivers on the pit lane at the time. Chris Wheeler, Ryan Gemmel had just come down the pit lane, and going to be a tough break for some of these guys. Gemmel gets trapped a lap down, as we have a car blowing up at the 19 possibly. I think Brandon Beska is possibly blowing an engine. I'm not sure. He's been on pit road for 10 laps, and his chances at advancing to the playoffs are done, but Dan Dill stays on the racetrack. He's going to try and lead some laps here under caution. Eric Hutt and Jeremiah Vincent do bring it down the pit lane, though. We'll see who wins the battle off. As here comes Hatchell. That's going to be a huge break for Hatchell to close in and have a shot at fighting for the lead. He's been so good on the long run. As Jeff Pogo, he stays out on the racetrack. He's only been on these tires for 3 laps. Actually did not even stop in his box under caution, so he'll be running on fumes at the moment. And Ryan Gemmel is going to end up 1 lap down. So unfortunate for Ryan, I think. We'll have to see how this all cycles out. Definitely tough to track when everything gets mixed up during the pit cycle like that. We'll look to see if Dan brings it down this time. Jeff Pogo, he'll bring it in this time. So Jeff Pogo giving up 2nd position. That is the break that Seth Hatchell needed, as the 24 was right behind him in the running order, and now the 24 going to be at the tail end of the lead lap. And Hatchell has a shot at a win here. Cody Adkins also getting another shot at it, as we are right around the lap 100 mark. Caution number 1 finally coming out, and it was for just a single car incident. The number 68 of Kyle Payne, who has had some struggles here tonight. He remains on the racetrack, but so many drivers getting trapped a lap down, including Nick Starling, Ryan Gemmel, Michael Newman, Justin Carey, who had a great run going. He's trapped a lap down now in the 15th position. Dallas Sullivan, Lane Sulfridge, Thomas Brendel, a lot of drivers right around that cut line. It is going to be very close if those guys can't get back up on the lead lap before this is said and done. I want to give a big shout out once again, Canterbury RV, sponsor of tonight's race. Check them out, CanterburyRV.com. You can use the command !Canterbury to learn more about those guys. Also want to once again thank the Brawl Network and NASCAR Brawl for letting us do this each week. It's been a lot of fun this season, and tonight's race is not an exception to that. It has been a lot of fun, a very interesting event as Dan Dill stays on the racetrack, 51 lap old tires. He's going to have to bring it in here as the pace car lights are off. I don't know how this is going to work. He may have to pit almost instantly. And he is definitely going to hold up that 77 car of Eric Hutton. Bad news for him. But maybe a bit of a wrong strategy call. Only 10 cars on the lead lap. This is very similar to what we saw at Bristol the other week in the Real Cup series, where so many cars got trapped off the lead lap. The pit cycle getting interrupted by a yellow flag. Right now, time running out for these guys to get back up on the lead lap. Really going to cost some of these guys a shot at the victory. But definitely helping out a couple of them being Seth Hatchell and Cody Adkins, among others up here in the top 10. As pace car lights are off, green flag back in the air. The 81 machine of Dan Dill gets him going. Good restart by Dan, even on those old tires. I'm showing he pitted 52 laps ago. There could be an issue with our scoring, but we will find out very quickly if that is the case, because Hutton and those guys should be able to reel him back in. Looks like he's just going to drop down to the bottom and let them go. That is the case. So Eric Hutton, though, moving to the point. 81 trying to get that car down in the low line. Hatchell going to go on by. He's going to drop like a rock, and I am not sure what the thought process is here. That 81 maybe hoping for another yellow flag to be able to get him back onto the pit lane. And cars pretty much single file. We've got a couple battles for position, but not too much. Many of them off the lead lap. And Eric Hutton, your pole sitter, he takes over the top spot. Jeremiah Vincent has led the most laps here. He can't have that taken away, but he could have a victory taken away as Dan Dill brings it on the pit lane. Oh, he misses the pit road. He's trying to get it slowed down, on the brakes hard, almost clipped the end of the pit lane, and that is going to cost him so much time. Dan Dill, his plans are crashing around him. He's going to have some trouble staying on the lead lap. He will definitely go a lap down, that's for sure. But will he be able to get back on the lead lap, and will he be able to maintain a position? As Eric Hutton has driven away Jeremiah Vincent, he's fallen to second. He can't close back in. The gap now 3/4 of a second. And Seth Hatchell right there in the third spot. Been very good on these long runs. He might be able to save tires here and get up and challenge for the lead in the closing laps, but he's got to make short order of the 9 car. Riding behind him definitely going to hurt the tires, so they go side by side into turn 1. This is the battle for second. Now Hutton out in front by a whole second over these guys. Here comes Cody Adkins right behind them. Hatchell charging hard on the outside. Looks like he's going to be able to complete that pass. The 9 car unable to keep the momentum down low. Hatchell will take over second. And here comes Jeremiah Vincent trying to look back. Not going to happen. We've got smoke on the front straightaway once again, but it is clear. Now the battle a little bit farther back. Hatchell in second. Pogo is in 5th position. Jeff Pogo. I don't believe led any laps there during the caution cycle. He is still a few positions back of Hatchell, and this, at the moment, I believe would be a tie for the regular season championship between Seth Hatchell and Jeff Pogo. Actually, Hatchell needs one more spot or a lap led, and it would be a tie, but Hatchell right now under attack from Jeremiah Vincent. I'm not sure if the 8 car caught the wall. Does not look like it, but they have closed in significantly on your leader. 2/10 faster last time by, and has Hutton burned his stuff up too quickly here in these opening laps of this run. Thank you, Magic Robots. Looks like we've got a couple bots in the chat, so we're going to get rid of those guys real quick. Back to the racing action. Eric Hutton out in front as battle for second is on, and the lights have completely come on now tonight. It is dark here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but it is all daylight out in front of the 77 car. Only 25 to go in a couple laps here. Hutton has stretched the lead back out to 1 second, and these guys continuing to fight it out, only slowing each other down. As now Jeremiah Vincent back to second. Hatchell working the high side. It's going to be tough sledding up there with no drafting help. As Cody Adkins looks to the inside now, the 31 trying to take third position away. And Hatchell able to stay alongside him. 31 gets a bit sideways out of the corner. Still side by side down through turns 3 and 4, but Cody Adkins with a bit of an advantage. No, he slides up the track. Hatchell trying to power around the outside. He's going to be able to keep the foot down, and the 31 losing some ground out of turn 4. 25 laps to go, and your leader, Eric Hutton, he is well out in front now, 1.05 seconds. Putting down some qualifying laps here at 30.26. Jeremiah Vincent at 30.25, as now the battle for third is switched. Hatchell is down on the inside, and he's got some help from Jeff Pogo, potentially. Cody Adkins almost clearing him into turn 1. Not going to happen. Hatchell dives down in there. And I think Hatchell getting a good run through 1 and 2. This time by, they'll be dead even down side by side. Nope, 31 with a bit of an advantage. Here goes Hatchell, big dive into turn 3. 31 pinches him down a little bit. Hatchell definitely better on this end of the racetrack in 3 and 4. And can he make it work? Cody Adkins still holding on to that position. Hatchell, I think, going to have to either give up the battle here soon or going to have to take it. They are losing significant ground to second place Jeremiah Vincent, who started to reel in Eric Hutton just a tiny bit. He was a 10th faster last time by. This time by looks like they're a bit more even, if not slightly the other way around. Nope, still about 700ths faster for Jeremiah Vincent. And Cody Adkins completes the pass. He'll move to third. And Seth Hatchell back to fourth. Jeff Pogo in fifth. Alan Dice up here in sixth. Great race for Alan, and Zach Smith has really charged up here. This is a clutch performance by him. He runs right in front of Ryan Gemmel, who is the lucky dog position in 10th, 1 lap down. Jordan Shepler up here in 9th. Josiah Vincent up here in 8th. So Josiah able to stay on the lead lap through that whole cycle. Definitely good for the 4 car to be able to do that, but he is well behind the leaders now, 6 seconds back. And I've got my eye on this number 9 car. He's led so much of this race. 84 laps led. Very similar performance to what we saw at Texas early in the season, and he lost that race in the closing laps to AJ Stravato. This time there's a bit more to the end of the race, but he is actually starting to reel in Eric Hutton pretty significantly. That last time by he was a 10th slower, but prior to that, he has reeled him in about a quarter of a second. See, this time by, he was about a tenth and a half faster, so trading lap times here. As the 9 car continues to chomp into that lead. Cody Adkins in third. He's holding up Seth Hatchell. That 8 car, I think, a little bit quicker, at least on the long run. Will he have time to show that speed and have any shot at getting up there and challenging for the victory? It's yet to say, but Jeff Pogo doing what he needs to do to try and capture this regular season championship, riding in the 5th position. Zach Smith, he's in 6th position, really showing some power here in the late going as Hatchell looks down to the inside. Oh, and there's contact. The 31 of Adkins goes around, and as we said it, the 1 car of Zach Smith, a little contact there, but Cody Adkins think through a block, and I don't think Seth Hatchell had any of that. I'm gonna go take a look at what happened. See the battle here between the 31 and the 8. Hatchell with a good run out of the corner. He goes low, goes high, cuts back low. 31, oh, just make a little contact going into the corner. And that is big damage for the 31 of Cody Adkins, who had such a strong race going. Let's see if we can go to a farther camera here and get a better idea of how that contact was made. But an uncharacteristic mistake from Seth Hatchell, if that is on his part. They were so close, just basically bumping, and oh, just a little bit of a bumper hook there. Sends the 31 around. Big damage though as he overcorrected into the wall. That is going to end his night. No chance to advance following that wreck. So that is definitely unfortunate for Cody Adkins, and I feel for him there. Had such a good race going, and opportunity taken away, but that changes things up here with the closing few laps. The drivers coming off the pit lane, it is Eric Hutton winning the battle off the pit road. And Dan Dill getting lucky there. He's going to stay on the lead lap, or at least be able to take a wave around now with slightly fresher tires than some of these cars here in front of him. That puts Ryan Gemmel back as the lucky dog. He'll be up in the top 10. And oh, safe. We didn't notice that you were out of the race. 24 laps down. Good to see you in here watching it. But yeah, definitely a bit of an aggressive move there. I'd be interested to talk to him about what happened there. I don't really know. Didn't seem like a second block by the 31. It just seemed like they were going for the same spot headed into the corner, and Seth just didn't turn in early enough, or the 31 turned in earlier than Seth thought. But I don't think it was intentional. Just kind of an ugly wreck. Gemmel going to bring it in here. He'll get some fresh tires on that race car and be up in contention in the top 10 once again. Eric Hutton will be your leader with just a few laps to go. Let's see if we can get an interview in with one of these guys. Talk to Zach Smith. He's had a very interesting night tonight, and we'll see if we can pull him up here. So I want to see if these guys are going back around. Nope. Okay, so Zach Smith, we'll see if we can pull him up. There he is right there. Zach Smith, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
What's up, Adam? How you doing?
Good. You've made a great recovery here tonight, Zach. You were, kind of deep in the running order for a bit. We saw you mired kind of mid-teens for a while, and now you're up here in the top 10. You're showing some pretty good speed here, and just a few laps to go. You think you can get up there and challenge these guys in the top 3?
Yeah, I feel like I got a pretty fast car tonight. Definitely a top 5 car. Let's see, as long as it stays green, I should have a shot.
Yes, sir. And you came into tonight's race tied at the cut line to advance to the playoffs. So was there any thought really on how you ran this race? Was staying towards the back more of a strategy call to preserve your car to the end?
Actually, no, I was late to qualifying, so said to kind of come up through the field. I wasn't going to try and get up as far as I could early and stay up here, but it worked out, so I'll take it.
Yes, sir. Definitely working out right now. Just a few laps to go. Good luck the rest of the way, and hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Good, Adam. Thanks.
All right, that was Zach Smith in the number 1 car as the field getting double filed back up. It's going to be Eric Hutton, Jeremiah Vincent, the top 2 lap leaders tonight on the front row. And right behind them, a couple drivers fighting for the regular season championship, Seth Hatchell and Jeff Pogo. And I think at this rate, Hatchell basically has to win the race with Pogo right there in the 4th spot. We'll see when Eric chooses to go, if he's got any communication with his friend there in the number 9 car. It'll be less than 15 laps to go when we get the green flag here. The 77 lagging back from the pace car just a little bit as they start creeping up right now. Pace car makes the hard left on the pit road. 77 gets going, green flag in the air. Good jump by Hutton as he gets actually a great launch going up through the gears. Here comes Hatchell looking to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent. We saw these two battle lap after lap. And now they're back at it here right off the get-go, but Hatchell going to be able to take second away. And will Seth Hatchell have anything to go up there and challenge the 77 car? Don't forget about Ryan Gemmel back here in 8th. He's back on the lead lap. One of the fastest cars, especially on the short run. And he is going to make his way around the 49 and the 13. And Zach Smith, his next target, who loses a spot on the restart. So here comes Jeremiah Vincent back to the inside. Jeremiah has been very strong here. Almost surprisingly so. He's been so good, and Hatchell, who's been really good a lot of this season, trying to hold him off. Jeremiah Vincent, we mentioned last week he had a special scheme. His wife's mother or grandmother passing away, and he nearly won the race at Talladega. Came up about 2 corners short, but he took the lead on the backstretch on the final lap, and it looked like it could happen there. He got shuffled back, and a big wreck ensued. As now they push each other, the 8 and the 9. 10 laps to go at the line. Eric Hutton is your leader. Is he going to come away with the victory? Your pole sitter, so quick in practice, so quick in qualifying, and he rode second almost all race, but now he's got a couple fast cars behind him, and they are fighting for their first win as well. The top 3 have not won. The first winner in the field, Jeff Pogo, there in 4th. If anything happens here, he could be looking at win number 2 this season. As Hatchell now under fire. The 9 car got a great run out of turn 4, and he'll get the pull down the straightaway into turn 1 side by side. Vincent onto the apron. He washes up the racetrack about a half groove, and Hatchell trying to fight back. And as these two continue to do this, the gap opens up to Eric Hutton out in front. And they have to be very cognizant of that. The 9 car goes on past Hatchell, drops in behind him, and maybe they can work together to get up there and battle. It's so tough to want to do that, though. You never know when things could go a completely different direction with a caution or something like that. Oh, we've got Thomas Brendel down on the apron. That car destroyed on the front and back, and he is 27th position right now. 22 laps off the pace. Trying to make up. It looks like he won't be able to make up any laps or any positions here. Thought I heard a little bit of sliding there as Eric Hutton continues to show that pole-winning speed. He is out in front and continues to set hot laps about a tenth and a half faster than Jeremiah Vincent last time by, and that gap stretching out now to 0.6 of a second. And if these drivers can all work together, they may be able to draft up towards the back of the 77, but I think it's going to be a matter of running out of time, as that gap now up to almost 0.8 of a second. Hatchell all over the back bumper. Very similar situation to what we saw with Adkins. Oh, the 9 throws the block. He's going to throw another block. He's got to be very careful. He's not secured in terms of points. And the 8 car of Hatchell is very well secured. He's going to get passed up now by Pogo. But Hatchell been very aggressive down into turn 3 here these last couple of runs. And it is going to cost him this time. Pogo now to the inside. He'll try and take that spot away. And not going to be able to do so as the 8 car fights back on the outside. And I don't know how he did it, but Josiah Vincent is up here in the mix. Of course, at the end when it matters, he's in the top 5. Seemingly almost every week he finds his way up here. And that's why he's only a few points outside of the championship lead as well, behind the 2 that are right there in front of him. Ryan Gemmel passing up Zach Smith. That's 6th and 7th, but Zach looking to the inside here down the back straightaway. He's going to make the move into turn 3. Gemmel kind of runs him down the racetrack. Not going to be able to make the move there for the 1. He had to back out of it as the 13 of Scheffler bounces off the wall behind them. The gap now 1 second between Hutton and Jeremiah Vincent. And I think this race is all but over, barring a caution. As the 14 car slow on the back stretch up high. This could be a dangerous situation. Gemmel goes to the inside. Everybody makes it around. That was a close call, with Brendel running up against the wall. But not a care in the world for this 77 car. He has been so fast all night long. He's been so close a couple times this season, and he has now led 42 laps and only a couple more to go. If he gets the white flag, this race is over with. He is a whole second out in front of Jeremiah Vincent as Hatchell throws the block on Jeff Pogo. He'll move to 3rd. And Josiah Vincent right there behind him. He's waiting for something to happen, but white flag in the air. Eric Hutton in the white number 77. Liking what he's seeing here. 1 second the margin between himself and Jeremiah Vincent, and that is not closing. 2 more corners. Eric Hutton through 3 and 4. He's going to be a winner in the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series and lock himself in to the NASCAR Brawl Playoffs with 5 bonus points, winning here tonight. The Canterbury RV 200. Congratulations, Eric Hutton. A fantastic run from both him and Jeremiah Vincent. Nobody challenged them all race long. And Eric comes out on top of that battle. And get a nice big bump here, I'm sure, from the 9 car. And that kind of run for Jeremiah Vincent should boost him up into the top 16. We'll have to get word from race administration here about how the standings are going to shake out. But one thing's for sure, Eric Hutton is locked in, and we already knew that coming into tonight's race, but he wins. We saw Eric over in the Virtual Racing League, broadcasting that a few weeks back. Surprise exit in their playoffs very early, but he has had momentum on his side this season in the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. So a win here in the last race of the regular season definitely going to be a huge motivator. And we are going to cut to commercial break. We'll be back with the top 3 interviews and hopefully some news on the point standings headed into the playoffs.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at VSpeedSyn. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
All right, and back to the racetrack now. We're going to bring up our race winner for the first time this season. Eric Hutton, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eric, there were a lot of close chances this season for you. You had a good shot at Iowa and a few other races. You finally get a win here in the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series, the final race of the regular season. You started on the pole, and you took it away there in the last 25 or so laps. How'd you get it done here tonight?
Yeah, me and Jeremiah just played a strategy game. We had a real good thing going on there during that green flag run. And we was hoping to go green. We had about a 5-second lead over third, it seemed like. And some cautions came out, but just started up front and held her up there and kept a clean car, took care of her stuff, and made it to the end.
Yeah, and we saw you and Jeremiah really break away from the field multiple times during the race, especially during the long green flag runs. What were you guys doing differently, or were you working together, kind of utilizing the draft to pull away?
Yeah, definitely that first run we were working together a little bit. Just you started catching me, I think, with five laps in, I think, and just let him go. We had a half-second lead there and just used the draft and saved our stuff, and we just stuck together the whole race and was able to have good speed, just two of us working together.
Yes, sir, and definitely good speed. You started on the pole, you won, or you were fastest in practice, so definitely the car to beat here tonight. And we've seen you have some good strength on the short tracks. The first race of the playoffs next week is going to be at North Wilkesboro. You think you can go out there and get another win?
Yeah, well, definitely have to practice that track. But yeah, definitely short tracks have been pretty good for me this year. So hopefully we can use this momentum, go into the playoffs, and see what we can do there.
Yes, sir, and you'll have the 5 playoff points, and we'll see where you're seated. Probably going to be 5th, 6th position, somewhere like that. But definitely been quick here this season. Looking forward to seeing what you can do next week, as well as the rest of the playoffs here. Before we let you go celebrate tonight's victory, though, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all my teammates, especially Jeremiah with that strategy we had going there. And shout out to AJ, wish he was here. Hopefully he's having a safe drive. Shout out to all the admins in the league, and Canterbury and V-Speed, and just everyone racing, put on a good show this season. It's been fun.
Yes, sir, a lot of fun to watch you and all the other drivers out here. Congrats on the win. Go celebrate, and we'll catch you at the start of the playoffs next week.
We'll see you. Thanks.
That was Eric Hutton, your winner tonight. And the number 77 machine. Let's go to second place driver, Jeremiah Vincent. Jeremiah, this is Adam of the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremiah, we saw you have a very good run here tonight. Kind of reminiscent of the run you had, I believe it was Texas early this season, leading a lot of laps and coming up just one spot short here at the end. Was there anything you could have done to get around the 77 there?
I just need more laps. My car felt like it was best about 20 laps into a run, and then through the very end of it. I had a feeling that was going to be the thing going in tonight. I was just hoping a lot of green flag laps, and we got that. Led laps. I think mine led the most, which hopefully helps out in the points. I know it's below the cut line. I was trying to get that guaranteed win, but I'm glad to see Eric get it. This is his first one in the series. Good guy.
Yes, sir. And you guys were really, really fast. We talked to Eric a little bit, just talking about how you guys got out so far during those green flag runs. And he said you were working together quite a bit. Was that your plan from the get-go, or is that just kind of the way things fell in the opening laps?
We was expecting to have us take care of the front row there in the beginning, which worked out great. We normally try to work together, and then we're just trying to work on pit strategies, try to be in sync with it, and see what's working. It worked the first time around, so we just kept with on the second time. And unfortunate cautions at the end. Maybe you're gonna have them, but all in all, it was a great race.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. About 97 laps of green flag racing to open this thing up, and then we had just a couple there, towards the end. But you came in, it looks like, I think 6 below the cut line. You gain a couple with the laps led and the most laps led, so probably going to be in good shape to advance. We'll have to, verify that with the league admins here. But, what was that your game plan? Just capture as many points as possible? I know you said the guaranteed win would have been nice, but were you looking in the mirror, looking for those guys that were close to you in points?
I was keeping an eye on it a little bit, and then there at the point, I was like, if they have a good run, I got to race this thing like I stole it. That's what I was trying to.
Yes, sir. And I think, based on who's around you and points coming in, it looks like Thomas Brendel, he did not have a great night. Dan Dill ended up outside the top 15, so it's looking like you're in good shape to move on. So, I don't want to guarantee anything before it's verified, but great run for you here tonight. The playoffs start next week at North Wilkesboro. How do you feel about going out there?
I love short tracks. This one's just slightly different than most. It's got a little bit downhill and an uphill on it. It should be fun. I love those old style low grip short tracks, so it should be pretty fun.
Yes, sir. We'll see if you can capture a win out there. You've definitely run well a few times this season, and you've been real close here these last 2 weeks, so we'll see if you can get it done. But second place tonight, anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to all my teammates. Eric, great run tonight. Lane did a great run. Lyle did the best you could on it. I know he had some circumstances messing up early on, but he rallied back. Josiah did a great job rallying back as well. AJ, I know you're on the road right now. We're looking out for you. Hope you get there safe to Connecticut. Like to give a shout out to Canterbury, NASCAR Brawl, Nick and Zach, the admins. They do a great job. Like V-Speed, shout out. Adam, you do an awesome job on here. And I think tonight was a good run I was having somebody from up above looking down on this one for sure.
Yes, sir. We mentioned it last week. Your wife's grandmother, I believe, if I'm correct. And you were racing for her last week, and probably still this week, and probably for the future here. But definitely had some strong performances, so you got some help for sure. So go celebrate that second place. Really happy to see you get a good run like this, and we'll see if you can keep it going here in the next few weeks.
Thank you. Great job tonight.
Thank you. That was Jeremiah Vincent, your second place finisher. And we're going to go to third place finisher, Mr. Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Seth, you started on the back foot here in 28th position, but we saw you charge up into the top 10 during the first green flag run, and then through the pit cycle, you found yourself in the top 5, and you were a contender from then on out. We saw, a little bit of hard racing down the back stretch. I don't know if you want to just touch on how your race went overall, and then maybe get to that incident.
Yeah, I was pretty worried at the start of the race. That wasn't like a botched qualifying lap or anything. That was just my lap. I thought I was going to be pretty far off, and even in practice, I wasn't feeling like I was going to be that quick. I guess just a lot of these guys are turning the wheel so much to make the car turn, and then so on the long run, it's like the story it's been all year with me. On the long run, I just kill just about everybody. I think I may have been even a bit quicker than the 77 and then the 9 up there. It's hard to tell because I never got to them on the long run. I think they had a couple lap better tires there on that second run as well, and I evened out with them, starting to pull them back. So it's hard to say. And then after that, I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything for the short run. I've been on here, the service, for like 7 years, and spent all my time trying to figure out how to have long run speed. And now with this package, and now you have to manipulate the air, the short run, I just can't do it. I just don't turn the wheel enough, I guess. You can make clean passes on guys, and then all they have to do is just take a wide entry to the next corner, diamond, and then they can just get inside you again. You get trained on the outside. And so it's pretty tough. I did everything I could. And then that deal with the 31, I'd have to go back and look at it. From what I could tell, that we were racing hard. I don't have any issue with him. I wasn't trying to wreck him. I just pulled out to the left of him there, and the nose on these cars has a little bit of a point to it, and I can't afford to, blip the throttle there and let him take it. And he was, of course, trying to block and then make the corner, and he just drifted across my nose, and I ended up turning him. So I'll have to go back and look at that, but it definitely wasn't anything intentional, and salvage a top 3 out of it somehow. I thought with these short runs, I thought I was going to be back to 10th or something like that.
Yeah, definitely a strong run. You were definitely the fastest car in the long run. There's no doubt about that. When the leaders were out there about 4 seconds in front, you lost a second and a half, and then you gained it right back, and they were on 4-lap pressure tires. So we noticed that, and definitely, we're looking to see if we got another long run, if you were going to be able to make it work. But in regards to the accident with the 31, from my perspective, it really did look like you guys were going for the same position. Kind of a racing deal. Anybody could have lifted probably or given more space, but when it's coming down to the end of the race, it's not a whole lot of give and take. It's all take mostly. So totally understandable. I'm sure you guys can work it out, but you're moving on to the playoffs. No wins yet in the regular season, but you've been so close so many times. You think you can go capture one next week at North Wilkesboro?
I like to think so. One of the other short tracks we went to, Bristol, it's a good bit different, but I was like far and away the fastest car in the long run by like well over a couple tenths. So I like my shot at short tracks. I just need some of these races to just play out on the long runs. I think I had a pretty good shot last week, and I just had the pit stop bug or whatever and got behind some lap traffic. But if some of these races get to long runs at the end, I think I have a good shot. I just need to start up front and stay up front.
Yes, sir. You definitely had the consistency. We've seen you. You were right up there challenging for the regular season championship, and we're gonna have to see how all the points shake out and everything. But definitely been a strong performer all season, and looking for that breakthrough win, of course. But with the way you've been performing, I think it'll be coming here soon. But we head to the playoffs. You come home here tonight with the 3rd place finish. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I got to thank the race sponsor, Canterbury, for hopping on board with this race. Adam, you do a great job with the broadcast. Nick, who runs this league, and he does a great job. And all the drivers, admins, and my team V-Speed.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on P3. We will catch you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, that was Seth Hatchell, P3 tonight, but Eric Hutton, your winner. He takes home the victory, and I think they're still crunching some numbers. Let me see if we got any update on this. It does not look like that is going to be the case, but maybe we can crunch the numbers up here a little bit manually as we run through the results and the race rundown. 2 cautions in tonight's race, 7 lead changes. Not a whole lot of activity at the front of the field, but it was really dominated by Eric Hutton and Jeremiah Vincent. Hutton moves on with the victory. He was already locked in on points, but he captures a win. A little bit of gravy on top of that, headed into the playoffs. And Jeremiah Vincent, with the 2nd place run, looks like he will be advancing based on the way things shake out here. Jordan Brockle not going to be moving on. Thomas Brendel does not appear to be moving on either. We do have to find out about Timothy Emanuele and Eric Holly and a few others. They did not have great runs coming in just inside the cut line. One driver who did was Alan Dice in the 8th position, but let's go through the rest of the order. Seth Hatchell finishes 3rd. Jeff Pogo, I think maybe going to capture the regular season championship. He finishes 4th. Josiah Vincent, great recovery. He was locked in. He'll be moving on. He comes home 5th. Ryan Gemmel, good recovery from being a lap down. He comes home 6th. Zach Smith, a good run here. That's going to be enough to move him in. He finishes 7th. Alan Dice, also in the same position. He'll finish 8th and move on. Jordan Shepler, he is not going to be moving on. He came in well outside the playoff picture, and without a win, not going to be advancing. Dallas Sullivan, he came in, trying to find it here. Dallas was only 9 points out. We're going to have to find out about Dallas, whether or not he made it. And maybe admins, if you guys are in the chat or watching, we'll see if you guys can contribute here and see if we know who's advanced or not. In 11th position was Lane Sulfridge. 12th was Michael Newman. Both of those drivers very close. Lane was on the cut line, so it's going to be close for him. Michael Newman was 17 up, so I think he will be advancing with that run, but no guarantees just yet. Nick Starling, of course, locked in from last week. He'll be advancing to the playoffs. Justin Carey finishes 14th. That may be enough with a 9-point margin he came in with, and a couple laps led here tonight. Brett Sommers finishes 15th. That's actually a great recovery for him. He did not have the car tonight, but solid top 15. He won't be advancing, but definitely moving in the right direction in that 7 car. Dan Dill finishes in 16th, and Dan came in 4 points outside the cut line. He's going to be very, very close to advancing, but not totally sure. Timothy Emanuele finishes in 17th, so we're going to have to find out about him as well. Eric Lambert finishes 18th. Joey Mines finishes 19th. Neither of them will advance. And rounding out the top 20, Lyle Sulfridge. He came in 19 outside the cut line. I don't think he'll be moving on either. Dennis Steele finishes 21st, and Dennis was 26 outside. He won't be advancing with that finish. Jason Perkins finishes in 22nd. He will not be advancing. Jordan Brockle, not going to be enough here tonight. He will not move on. He finishes 23rd. Kyle Payne finishes 24th. Cody Adkins finishes 25th. Eric Holly, 26th. He was 7 points on the inside coming in. This may not be enough to move on. Thomas Brendel, once again, was on the outside. Probably not advancing with the 27th place run. Safe Ferris, he was locked in. He finishes 28th here tonight. Cody Wheeler comes home 29th. And Batman Brandon Vasquez comes home in 30th. Dylan Teal will round out the field in the 31st position. And, we're going to wait for a little bit more word here. Hopefully we get some kind of a notification, or we're going to just check the points and see if it's being updated. So it looks like Nick Starling finishing 15 in the standings. It is going to be very interesting. Maybe we can get confirmation that these guys that the points are official. I'm pretty sure this is going to be your playoff order. Jeff Pogo looks like he's won the regular season championship, 3 points in front of Seth Hatchell. Congrats to Jeff on that. Hatchell finishes 2nd in the standings. Josiah Vincent comes home 3rd in the standings in the regular season. AJ Stravato 4th. Ryan Gemmel 5th. Eric Hutton 6th. Safe Ferris 7th. Alan Dice 8th. Michael Newman in 9th. Justin Carey in 10th. Jeremiah Vincent in 11th. Zach Smith in 12th. He'll move on to the playoffs. Lane Sulfridge will move on in the playoffs as well. 13th. Timothy Emanuele looks like he will advance. It looks like he will advance in the 14th spot. Nick Starling, of course, with the win last week. He'll move on. And Eric Holly is going to round out the top 16. We're going to have to just wait for additional confirmation, but tentatively, that is your top 16 grid. So congrats to all of those drivers moving on. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. We're going to raid another stream here, but we will be back next Wednesday with the All-Star race for the NASCAR Ball Cup Series. You won't want to miss that. Should be a lot of fun. Let me see if I can get more information on that one. Yeah, I don't have the track, but I got to get with the admins on that. I think it should be a throwback track. I think they're in the old cars for that, so should be a lot of fun. Tune in next Wednesday at the normal time, 8:25 Eastern, right here on V Speed to catch that action. And then next Thursday we'll be back with the NASCAR Brawl playoffs, so gonna be a lot of fun there, and those top 16 drivers gonna be fighting it out for advancing to the next round of the playoffs. But check us out on all of these social media outlets. If you enjoyed tonight's race, please consider following or subscribing, and check us out on Twitter. Follow us over there to be eligible for a giveaway we'll be doing when we get to 500 followers here on Twitch, 200 on Twitter. And you can check out race replays like last week's race at Talladega over on our YouTube at VSpeed. We've got lots of videos over there, so check them out and subscribe to us on that platform if you'd like to. But let's go see who we can jump in with here tonight. And stick with us while we do. We are going to jump in with Justin Botello. So enjoy his content, and we thank you once again for joining us tonight.